Hare Krishna. Would any one of you like to lead the invocation prayers, even if you have to recite from the Bhagavad Gita book?
Prabhuji, can I do?
Yeah, Path Prabhu, go ahead.
Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Gyananjaya Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurube Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Shayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sa Padantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Shakragatam Sahagana Raghunatham Bhitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabhadutam Prajnana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Bhisaka Invitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Bindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpataru Vascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanaviyo Vaishnaviyo Namo Namo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, excellent. So all of you can please take turns every day, from every class, to recite the invocation prayers. You heard in the recording that other devotees have also been practicing this. So you also can take turns. Invocation is important. Thank you all for coming to read and discuss practical aspects so that we all can practice spirituality. This way, we can soon live as a soul in this material world. So today we will discuss inquiries submitted by you all from Nectar of Instruction, text number 1. I will bring up the inquiries on screen. We have quite a few number of inquiries. Question number 1. Of the senses, why is tongue considered to be more damaging? I thought our eyes are more prone to getting entangled in Maya. So scriptures give us facts and directions. All 3 points are correct. First, Krishna comes through our ears by hearing. Maya comes through the eyes by seeing. Second, tongue is the most voracious part of the body. And third, all our senses are weak points in our body, as we have discussed in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, that we go into the material world entanglement storm via our senses. So all these 3 points are correct. Multiple places, scriptures have stated this fact that tongue is the most voracious part of our body. Tongue likes to eat and tongue likes to talk nonsense. So the solution to control all senses is to start by controlling the tongue, by speaking Krishna Katha and by honoring Krishna Prasadam only. Does that answer the inquiry? Question number 2. How do we apply the principle of eating prasadam only, especially when we work with material people in our professional lives, where we sometimes need to maintain social relations? So association is the key point in entire nectar of instruction. You will soon hear the discussion in upcoming nectar of instruction lecture on text number 2, which describes 6 items that are harmful for bhakti. Atyahar prayascha prajalpa niyamagraha janasangascha lolyamcha shadbir bhakti vinashyati. These are the 6 items in text 2 which are harmful for bhakti. So janasanga means association of materialistic persons is a key point. And then in nectar of instruction text number 3 describes 6 items that are favorable for bhakti. Utsaha nishchay dhairya tattat karma pravartana sanga tyaga sato vritte sadbir bhakti prasidyati. So giving up association of materialistic people is so important that this point is repeated in text number 3 as sanga tyaga. Now, in one of Nectar of Devotion lecture, Srila Prabhupada is reciting Nectar of Instruction text number 2. The text number 2, third line, actual verse says, Janas Sangha Cha Lolyam Cha. But in that Nectar of Devotion lecture, Srila Prabhupada recited this Nectar of Instruction text number 2, third line as Sadhu Sangha Cha Lolyam Cha. Because Srila Prabhupada is giving the solution that Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees, is the solution to avoid association of materialistic persons. So you will hear in Nectar of Instruction text number 2 on the 6 items harmful for bhakti that association of materialistic persons leads to the other 5 items of text number 2 which are harmful for bhakti. Meaning, because of materialistic association, we do atyahar, means collect more money, eat more. Because of materialistic association, we do prayas, means over endeavor to earn more. We do prajalpa, means talk nonsense. We do niyamagraha, means we give up rules and regulations because materialistic people do not follow. And I am starting to think, why am I torturing myself? And because of materialistic association, we do laulyam, means we end up having too much greed. So we have discussed that at workplace, be functionally present. And you do not need to mingle with colleagues after work. It is a matter of discipline and practice. Now, of course, each workplace, each country is slightly different. Therefore, you have to judge according to time, place, and circumstances. How do you apply this point? Still, try this. Do not mingle with colleagues. In fear, you might have presumed that you have to mingle with colleagues. No, but you don't. So drop that fear. It is possible that colleagues may comment, but Krishna and Krishna Prasadam should be more important than any other's comments. Although one devotee has asked this question, I'm pretty sure many have similar situation. Does that answer the inquiry? Silence. Right. Question number 3. What practical steps can we take to control our 6 basic urges of speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals in order to truly advance in Krishna consciousness and become qualified to make disciples? Very good. Very good intent to be qualified to make disciples. So, Nectar of Instruction, text number 2, the very first line in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, simple living and high thinking. But most people in the material world simply live and hardly think. We have discussed this in Bhagavad Gita, that one time Srila Prabhupada was asked how to control lust. Srila Prabhupada responded that no lust will take a very long time. But no time for lust is possible right now. So if you busy yourself in Krishna conscious activities, such as reading scriptures, doing japa, doing devotional services, etc., then there will be little to no time left for the mind to deviate on other things. In Nectar of Devotion, yes, devotion, Nectar of Devotion, there is a list of 64 items of devotional service given to keep our mind, body, and senses fully occupied in Krishna consciousness for 24 hours for rest of the life. Now, you judge, all of you, for yourself, that last class I had given a glimpse of this busyness in Krishna consciousness with few endeavors. And multiple devotees who are virtually present among us, they connected with me offline asking whether they have to do all the spiritual endeavors. And only some of you read the Krishna book, chapter 60 and 72, related to the senses, which was one of the spiritual endeavor from last class. Further, only some of you asked for the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5 class recording of the previous batch to know how our this body, how our this material world and everything around us is largely made out of ignorance. So if you are truly asking this question, how do you control your six urges to transform yourself? Well, then endeavor on all the endeavors that are provided. So last class I did not provide the extract of Krishna book. If all of you want, I can provide the Krishna book extracts now, and whosoever is listening to recordings can get it from me. Sorry. And whosoever wants the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, class recording, can send me an offline message and I can forward you that link. So you all tell me, what do you want me to do? You want me to give you the Krishna book chapters now? Yes, no, silence.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, sure, Prabhuji. Mm.
You see, only some of the devotees are asking for it. Right? So the endeavor that I give is meant to occupy your mind 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. Now, some of you said you read Krishna book chapters, but you never found what was given. Like there is a specific line in both those chapters about the senses. That was the purpose of giving uh, this endeavor. So if you found, then you could have put that under the striking points when you completed the Google form. So you all decide what you want me to do. That there are all these endeavors. I also give this memorization of verses, right? So I demonstrated, I showed the video for myself. So all of you can start practicing. So there are devotees in the Bhagavatam offline batch who recite verses every week, which is very good. So practice the way I showed you. That in the Nectar of Instruction, I'm giving you so many verses to memorize. So memorize. So right now I will share in the chat the Krishna book chapters 60 and Krishna book chapters 60 and 72. Let's see. Yeah. I'm posting in the chat. Give me a moment. So I posted in the chat the Krishna book, chapters 60 and 72. So read, find, there is a specific mention about the senses in there, both these chapters. And if you go back, if you step back, that as part of our Bhagavad Gita study, every week I gave Srila Prabhupada lectures. How many of you listen to Prabhupada lectures every week? Somebody?
There was one lecture in the previous session, right, Prabhuji? With that the way I listened to it, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay, very good.
Yes, Prabhuji, I listened a lot of lectures.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So those of you who are listening, so this is very good. So all of us should do this every week. Now, I also have sessions, class recordings on how to listen to Prabhupada lectures so that you can retain a lot of points from Prabhupada lectures. So one question number 3, you already got so much of spiritual endeavors, which should keep you occupied for quite some time. Then you will not have any time left for anything else. And this way your urges, bodily urges, there will be no time for that. So Srila Prabhupada has said in Bhagavad Gita 17.15 that there is limitless stock of Vedic literature. One should read all this. This is penance of speech. I'll give you my own example that I personally, on my to-do list, every day there will always be some spiritual endeavor always carried forward to next day, meaning I have occupied myself in spiritual endeavor so much that every day some spiritual endeavor is always left over to be carried forward to next day, even when I spend a lot of time every day on spiritual endeavors. So you all endeavor on spiritual endeavors. So you are asking me for practical steps. I am giving you these practical steps, but it is for you to endeavor. I asked all of you also to memorize verses. So I will bring up on screen 17.15. So 17.15, although not a key memorization verse, definitely a very important verse. Who would like to recite the Sanskrit? I have it on the screen. Somebody? Anutvekkakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasam chaiva vakmayam tapa uchyate. Somebody wants to recite?
Yes, Prabhuji. Can I recite, please?
Go ahead.
Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priya hitam sayat chayat swadhya yabhyasyam yabhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate.
Very good. Read translation and purport, Pratyush.
Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Hare Krishna. One should not speak in such a way as to agitate the minds of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his students, but such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his students if he will agitate their minds. This is penance as far as talking is concerned. Besides that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circles is to say something upheld by the scriptures. One should at once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There is a limitless stock of Vedic literature, and one should study this. This is called penance of speech. Hare Krishna.
Right? Prabhupada says, there is limitless stock of Vedic literature. One should study this. This is called penance of speech. So I gave you all these spiritual endeavors. It is for you all to endeavor. Now, I don't force any one of you. All of you have your respective lives. Some have time, some don't have time. So you have to judge for yourself how much is appropriate for you. Basic idea should be I have to be occupied in Krishna conscious endeavors as much as is possible. So you all judge for yourself. I don't force anyone. Yes, I give you a certain amount of endeavors, but I'm not sitting here with a stick that why you didn't do it. It's a recommendation to keep you occupied 24 hours. Does that answer the inquiry? All of you, please speak with me.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Question number 4. In daily life, we need to talk about all kinds of things like politics, social, economics, modern education topics. Then how to apply Vachuvekam in all situations? Because it is said herein, if one is not talking about Krishna, then he is talking nonsense. Very good. So in this question number 4, you are assuming you have to mandatorily talk all these points. No, you do not. You do not need to talk politics, social media, economics, etc., all these topics. You do not. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.10, it states, Tad Vyasam Tirtham, meaning pilgrimage for crows. So I'll bring up on screen. So this is Bhagavatam 1.5.10. You see the third line says, Tad Vyasam Tirtham. And if you read word for word translation, you will see that it's referring to pilgrimage for crows. So what is it referring to? Let's first read the translation. Nishan Prabhu, translation from the screen. Nishan? Shruti?
Krishna Prabhuji. Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all-perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there.
So pilgrimage for crows, it's referring to all these material world literature, whether it be newspaper, magazine, social media, WhatsApp, all these. So just as crows go to garbage to get their food, so materialistic people go to these mundane literature. And the next verse, 1.5.11, is a very important verse, a very beautiful verse. It's a key memorization verse. I will recite. Tadvag visargo janatagah viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abadvati api namani anantasya yasya ankitani yat shravanti gayanti grahanti sadhava. Raksha, translation.
Translation. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Hare Krishna.
Right, so transcendental literatures which describe the glories of the Lord, they are for swan-like devotees. So swan do not go to garbage. If you give a pot of milk mixed with water to a swan, in that mixed milk and water, the swan will only drink the milk out of that. So swan-like refers to devotees. So what you have to do is you have to busy yourself in scriptural study. In upcoming recordings, you will hear a short lecture of my spiritual master, His Grace Vaisheshikadas Adhikari, which is titled Breaking News. Stop watching breaking news. So I'm going to play that same short lecture right now again. And towards the end of the recording, my spiritual master's contact is also there. So you can make a note of the contact of my spiritual master, and by all means, you are welcome to connect with my spiritual master. So let's hear from my spiritual master what he's saying about breaking news. That stop watching breaking news.
Here's some breaking news. Stop watching breaking news. What is it? Breaking news is news that breaks your concentration from everything that's important in your life. It also breaks your heart. There's only so much shocking information that a simple human being can take in and survive emotionally in life. It's not necessary. The ancient sage Sanatana Goswami used to say, don't take teachings from someone who's motivated by profit. If they're trying to make money on you by giving you information, it means that the information is contaminated. Don't take it in. Here's what I do. I don't listen to the 24-hour news cycle. I avoid it. I watch other things that are positive. And here's what happens. Anything I need to know comes to my attention on the street. If it rises to a high enough threshold, someone will tell me about a world event that I really need to know about. 99% of breaking news is not only unnecessary, it's very disturbing. But we needn't give up hearing altogether. There are fantastical stories in the ancient Vedic wisdom literatures, like Mahabharata. The Bhagavad Gita took place on a battlefield, one of the greatest battles of all time. And during the fight, the greatest teachings of all time, the yoga teachings, were given from Krishna to Arjuna. Similarly, the Srimad Bhagavatam gives wonderful stories from the history of the world and infuses it with spiritual knowledge. We can transfer our attention from the sensationalized to that information that's altogether interesting but transformational. This is the process of Bhakti Yoga. Try tuning out the breaking news cycle for 1 month and tune in to spiritual literature and see how your mind becomes purified, happy, and also entertained. Let me know. Write to me and tell me, what kinds of literatures are you listening to that are enriching your mind and bringing you to a higher spiritual level?
So take a snapshot of what you have on the screen as the contact point for my spiritual master and connect with him. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, His Grace Vaisheshikadas Adhikari, for enlightening us. So we have discussed that at workplace, you be functionally present and do not indulge in gossip. If you have extra time at workplace or throughout the day, memorize verses, read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, listen to Prabhupada lectures. We also read few minutes ago Bhagavad Gita 17.15 that there is limitless stock of Vedic literature. One must read all these. This is penance of speech. And just couple days back, Srila Prabhupada also sent a relevant clip, a relevant short message, which I have on the screen. Rupa Shri, you want to read Prabhupada's message from the screen?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. We take a newspaper and we read what the politician says. So many nonsense things. We waste our time. Shrama eva hi kevalam. We should increase our taste for hearing and chanting about Vishnu, Krishna. Vrindavan, March 31st.
Right, so Prabhupada is directly saying all this news, politics is Shrama eva hi kevalam. Shrama eva hi kevalam is coming from Bhagavatam 1.2.8. Shrama eva hi kevalam means waste of time. Does that answer the inquiry number 4? Although one devotee has asked, I'm pretty sure many have similar situation. Silence, I have silence. What's going on?
I'm good, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 5. Sometimes I dream that when I have kids, I will admit them to our Gurukul instead of modern schools. Then second thought hits me that will my children be competent enough to deal in this material world? Because everyone has to do their duty, needs to earn money. Competition will be there for sure. So how can I be convinced and also make others also convinced? A super excellent intent to enroll kids in Gurukul. So some of you have completed Shishopanishad study at the earlier classes, and very soon at batch 3 and 4, Shishopanishad revision is coming up. So you all should try to attend Shishopanishad revision classes also, or at least listen to Shishopanishad revision class recordings. So Shishopanishad describes that if someone only does material duties, he will go to hell. And Shishopanishad then goes on to say that if someone only does spiritual duties, he will go to bigger hell. Yes, he will go to bigger hell because he will not know how to swim through the material world ocean. Therefore, one needs a balance for materiality and spirituality. Srila Prabhupada has said, devotee should know everything about something and something about everything. Meaning, devotee should be expert in one field and simultaneously, devotee should also know something of the other fields. Otherwise, people will cheat you. So, for your kids, have a balance that Monday to Friday, they can study in the normal material world school, and on the evenings and weekends, they can attend Gurukul. If you practice Bhagavad Gita in your own life, then you yourself will be a very good role model for your child to adopt. So there are many examples at the Toronto temple. Other temples will have similar examples that parents are devotees and their young kids are engaged in devotional services from early childhood. So the children attend Krishna conscious school, meaning the Gurukul. They also study outside. Does that answer the inquiry? I'm pretty sure it's helpful for everyone, even though one devotee has asked.
Yes, Prabhuji, it was helpful.
Question number 6. Here it says, use anger for Krishna's service. But when I talk to family, relatives, friends, sometimes their activities, their words, or their way of talking, putting me or my near ones down, agitates or hurts me, and my anger rises. So how anger is to be controlled in daily life? So very important principle is that anger is very detrimental. Therefore, stay away from anger. Do not find excuse to use your anger. There is a very fine dividing line whether I am using anger in Krishna's service or whether anger is using me in Maya's service. Now, using anger in Krishna's service does not mean that we speak anything and everything in an angry tone. No. Rather, we have to be in control and defeat the other person's misconceptions so that the other person can come closer to Krishna. If you talk in an angry tone, the other person will actually go further away from Krishna. So we do not have to make bad situation worse. Now, I'm not sure why you have to be angry for the situation described in this question number 6. So you have studied scriptures. Therefore, you are supposed to follow scriptural injunctions. Your family members have not studied scriptures. So why are you expecting your friends and family to follow what they have not studied? Rather, what you have to do is you become expert in scriptures and you preach. Explain to family members in simple grade 1 level simplicity. Use the family connection to practice your own spirituality, whether you have developed the qualities such as humility, tolerance, compassion, of course, anger control, other qualities, etc. also. Now, all of you, please answer to my this point that almost all of you, it's not almost, all of you have had offline discussions with me on various inquiries. So you all, please let me know what is my approach in responding to your inquiries. Sorry. Is my approach condescending? Is my approach to put you down? Is my approach disrespectful? You all tell me, what is my approach? How do I answer your inquiries? Everybody, please answer.
Prabhuji, every time I received your very positive reaction, very calm, very clear, so I am really helpful.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shruti.
It's always clear and not like you don't get angry or talk in any negative way, Prabhuji.
Okay. Rest of you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you give very practical solution, and also you give reference to Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and guide us correctly.
Okay. Rest of you?
Prabhuji, your approach has been very well. I feel like a friend and mentor, so the approach is really well. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Rest of you have not answered. What is my approach? So you will face this situation, and I will soon quote references for this. Rupashri?
Yes, Prabhuji. So your approach is more understanding on our side as well and very positive and practical. I would second that. So it's very helpful to move towards Krishna.
Okay.
Very true.
Follow me?
Yes, Prabhuji, you have been very patient in understanding the situation and focusing on a solution using the scriptures rather than the problem.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. So all your points that you all said, you all apply in answering situations which is described in question number 6, that how to deal with friends and family. So what I am doing on you all is actually I am practicing on you all how to develop the qualities mentioned in Bhagavad Gita scriptures. I am only practicing. I'm not trying to glorify myself. I am only practicing. So you all can follow. And Krishna has actually taught us this, that in Bhagavad Gita 6.35, upon Arjuna's inquiry that Ashtanga Yoga seems impractical because it is easier to control the wind than to control the mind. So in response, Krishna first sympathizes with Arjuna that yes, it is very difficult to control the mind, but it is possible with suitable practice. And similarly, in Bhagavad Gita 6.37, 38, 39, Arjuna's inquiry, what happens to unsuccessful yogi? So in 6.40, Krishna, before giving the philosophical answer, first Krishna gives an emotional assurance to Arjuna that one who follows spirituality but has not been able to complete, still such a person will never meet inauspicious destination. So this emotional assurance helps Arjuna to calm down. And then Krishna gives the philosophical answer. So you all recall your inquiries with me and my approach to responding you all, because I am practicing what Krishna has taught us. I'm telling you right now, I have been practicing on you all. So you recall all those conversations and you practice in the same way to preach to friends, family, colleagues, and every soul in the material world in that same compassionate manner. Give scriptural references. Be more inviting rather than condescending. Be focused on solutions rather than the problem. So I'm not trying to glorify myself. I have no intent. I'm just showing you live example on how to practice. Everybody, question number 6. Although one devotee has asked, I'm pretty sure many face the situation. Everybody can practice all of this.
Prabhuji, it will take patience and discipline to practice this. Minimum 10 to 15 years. It will take some time, but we can try.
Yeah, start right now. Right? Don't worry about when you will perfect. Start right now.
Prabhuji, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So, practicing that is working for whichever is not having a deadline. Or I would say, if it's elderly people or nearing our age, they explain us what when we can be compassionate to them. We can ask them what's going on, why something happens. But with kids, they don't talk that much, and when there is a material deadline, um, even if we try to be compassionate, it just doesn't work that way, isn't it?
It's a
And
matter of practice, right?
okay,
Even with kids, it's a matter of practice. Yes,
okay,
I understand that with grown-ups, it's easy. You can use logic. With kids, you may not be able to use. You just need a different technique. It's a practice. If they are your kids, niece, nephews, you have some influence. So use your influence. It's a matter of practice. It's not impossible. It may be difficult, but it's a matter of practice. Upashri.
okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Yeah.
Rest of you are still silent. All right, question number 7. For becoming a master of senses, one need to control the 6 urges of speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, genitals. Does this require assistance from spiritual master to reach this level? For taking initiation from a spiritual master, is it required to qualify by passing any examination conducted by ISKCON? So it's absolutely yes that you need a spiritual master to control your urges. We have discussed this in Bhagavad Gita 4.34, 7.14, some other verses also, that I am bound by the modes. And someone who is not bound by the modes, only he can unbind me. So spiritual master is not bound by the modes. Therefore, spiritual master can unbind all of us from the clutches of the modes. If you try by yourself, there is significant high risk of failure. Trying by yourself is like trying to come out of a well by yourself pulling on a rope. While with spiritual master, it is Krishna and the spiritual master pulling you out of the well. Therefore, the visual that we have on the screen, coming out of the well is easier. So Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita 12.6 and 7, that I become the swift deliverer of my devotees. And I'll give you my own example. That from the day I took shelter of my spiritual master, His Grace Vaishnavidas Adhikari, from whom we just heard about the breaking news, stop watching breaking news. He is my spiritual master. So from the day I took shelter, the senses started to be in control. I am not yet initiated. I have only taken shelter. From that day itself, the senses started to be in control because spiritual master starts helping the disciple to be ready for initiation. My initiation took 1 year later, but the senses started to be in control from the time I took shelter. In terms of the second part of the question about what examination to be completed, so before first initiation, ISKCON Disciple course is now mandatory to be completed. So ISKCON Disciple course is not a difficult course. Few devotees from this batch, some of them are virtually present, have recently completed the ISKCON Disciple course. From Mayapur Institute, it's an online course via Zoom call, 2 hours every day for some 5 days. It's about 1,000 Indian rupees, so it's not a huge cost as well, and has a simple multiple choice test at the end of the course. So before first initiation, ISKCON Disciple course is absolute mandatory, no matter who is your spiritual master. And some other spiritual masters have their own specific courses. Example, my spiritual master before first initiation has 5 modules to complete before you can become qualified for first initiation. Now, some other spiritual masters may have some other courses. So, for example, in Nepal, where the main spiritual master is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. They have slightly different scriptures, the smaller books to complete. So some other spiritual masters may have some different courses, or some spiritual masters do not have any courses to complete. So these additional courses are not hard once you have gone through the study in our classes, the scriptural study in our classes. So my spiritual master, as part of the 5 modules, he also says that you should have completed or studied, completed as in studied, Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1 and Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Shishopanishad. Essentially, the 4 books which are there in Bhakti Shastri. So you should have studied. It's not that you have to complete a degree. If you can complete, by all means, you can. So those who have recently completed ISKCON Disciple course, some of them are virtually present. You want to share something about the course for the benefit of everyone?
Hare Krishna, I have taken that course, so it's very useful course. Very practical and very helpful. It's good. I took it, and the instructor is very good, and they explain everything.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So ISKCON Disciple course, you will know the mood of Srila Prabhupada and you will get attached to Srila Prabhupada. So it's a very, very nice course. It's not a very difficult course, very easy course. So all of you, whether or not you are ready for initiation right now or not, just take the ISKCON Disciple course. It's an eye-opener course. And for second initiation, Bhakti Shastri degree from ISKCON is mandatory. So Bhakti Shastri degree covers Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, and Shishopanishad. So if you attend our classes, we have covered all these scriptures. So if you now go and get all these degree courses, it's going to be very easy. Of course, my spiritual master does not say you need a degree. He just says you should have studied this, and you all have already studied all of this. So you are already well set. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam study courses are optional and not required for first or second initiation. So what I am studying Srimad Bhagavatam, they are optional. It's not mandatory at all. So I have had offline discussions with few devotees across all batches for approaching a bona fide spiritual master for initiation. Or if you are not ready for initiation, still approach a bona fide initiating spiritual master and take him as your Siksha Guru. So if any one of you is interested to have an offline discussion with me on this point about approaching a spiritual master, you can please set up a time with me and we can discuss one-on-one. Does that help with this inquiry?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So Ptolemy's inquiry about my spiritual master 5 modules. So the 5 modules are basic modules. 5 and over and above the 5 modules, my spiritual master says you should have read Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Shishopanishad, and Bhagavatam Canto 1. So 5 modules are standalone. They are basic topics from the various scriptures on Krishna consciousness, plus what Ptolemy has mentioned in the chat. Follow me?
Yes, Prabhuji, I understood now. Thank you
So
for that.
follow me. You have already completed all those scriptures except the 5
Prabhuji, I have to
modules.
reread again. Like, I have
Yeah.
to improve
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah. Reading is lifetime. We are not here to put a tick mark. Even after we complete Srimad Bhagavatam 18,000 verses, we will go back to verse number 1 and start over again. All right. Question number 8. Urge to speak should be dovetailed to Krishna conscious activities by glorifying the Lord or his pastimes. But we speak only Krishna Katha. Wouldn't this be an offense because preaching to non-devotee is discouraged? So even though should not preach to non-devotees, but even if you preach to non-devotees, Krishna does not take this as an offense because you are trying the higher principle of bringing souls closer to Krishna. Now, simultaneously, speak Krishna Katha according to time, place, and circumstances. At workplace, your boss, your colleagues may not be ready for spirituality. Well, then stay silent. Just give them prasad. I'll give you my own example that at one of my previous workplace, all my colleagues, they were addicted to prasadam. I'm telling you truth, right? They were addicted to prasadam. Many of these colleagues would come, say in the afternoon, and specifically ask me, do you have some prasadam left over? Can I take some? And among these colleagues, one of my colleague did not like spirituality, even though this colleague is from India. But this colleague does not like spirituality. So this colleague complained to my manager about me that I should not give prasad, etc. to this colleague. So I stopped giving prasad to this colleague. But rest of the office, they were addicted to prasadam. So preach, preach and speak Krishna Katha according to time, place, and circumstances. You first judge the situation and then decide whether it is appropriate to preach and speak Krishna Katha. Otherwise, stay silent. And simultaneously, you continue to remember Krishna in your mind. Does that answer the inquiry? All right, question number 9. It is mentioned that one must not give delicious food as prasad just to satisfy their own desire. So, what about all the auspicious occasions when such offerings are prepared? So, on special occasions, it is okay to prepare opulent offerings, just not every day. And the second part of the question says, it is impossible to assume that while preparing these opulent offerings, one does not desire to consume them as remnants. So this is a practice. Devotees who do services with me at the Toronto temple, I have described this exact same situation to them, that when cutting fruits and vegetables, every time you get a craving, turn it around to remember Krishna, that who Krishna will enjoy this offering so nicely. So it's a matter of practice. Does that answer the inquiry? All right. Question number 10. Could you please elaborate by tapasya one can overcome the victimization of material energy? So one can either follow the slower process of tapasya or the easier and faster process of devotional service to overcome the clutches of material energy. Once you do devotional service, then material energy does not touch you. Does that help?
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Yes. I kind of didn't understand what is victimization by material energy. So do we consider ourselves a victim? So that part I did not get it.
Victimization means material energy is distracting you. So this is described at great length in Srimad Bhagavatam, that the role of material energy is to keep we all souls bound in the material world by showing us all the zillions of distractions in the material world. Therefore, we are attracted to so many things in the material world. This is Maya Devi doing it. It's described at great length in Bhagavatam. So, if you do devotional services, then Maya Devi does not touch you. You are then living as a soul and doing devotional services as a soul. Rupashri.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you.
Question number 11. All such talks or literatures are practical exhibitions of the urge to speak. Many people are talking nonsensically and writing volumes of useless books. And all this is the result of urge to speak. The question is Srila Prabhupada referring to only religious books or philosophy books? Or what is he referring to? So talking nonsensical and writing volumes of useless books, by this, Srila Prabhupada is referring to all the newspapers, magazines, novels, internet, social media, WhatsApp, etc., or talking about politics or talking on the phone for other than Krishna Katha. All these are examples of nonsensical talking and writing. So little while ago, today we read from Bhagavatam 1.5.10, Tadvyasam Tirtham. So all these examples that I just quoted are examples of Tadvyasam Tirtham, pilgrimage for crows. They are all garbage. And we also read 1.5.11 that devotees, swan-like devotees, focus on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc., bhakti scriptures. Does that answer the inquiry?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 12. In previously engaging with conversations about religion with people of different faiths, I have heard terms like idol worship used to denigrate and blaspheme Sanatan Dharma. This triggered my Krodha Vegam, wherein I confronted them for their ignorant remarks. But their viewpoints are rooted like a banyan tree in their own scriptural understanding. So they don't budge easily. How should we navigate such circumstances while keeping our anger in check? So as we discussed for one of the earlier question on how dealing with friends and family. So for this question also, there is no reason to be angry on someone who does not know the scriptures that you all know. And we also discussed that using anger in Krishna's service does not mean we become angry and speak in an angry tone. No. Rather, we stay in control of our anger so that we can speak intelligently to defeat opposing views by providing scriptural references. So we have to preach according to our level. So I, as a neophyte, my ability is to take books and prasadam from point A to point B. To convince and transform someone is the ability of spiritual master and uttamadhikaris, not neophyte. So all these points you have to learn and practice accordingly. Now what you can do is, next time we go out on book distribution, you can learn how I do book distribution, that when somebody asks me a question, he is a complete stranger on the street, I will not speak. What I will do is, I will open up a verse in Bhagavad Gita and I will make this person read that verse as the answer to whatever he is inquiring. Of course, it's a matter of practice, that how do you find out the verse. So I have taught you all how to look up verses in Bhagavad Gita. So it's a matter of practice. So you don't get angry, rather let Krishna speak to them through the words in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. Does that answer the inquiry?
Yes, Prabhuji, understood. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Last question for today. The statement says, real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this there is a standard process. So the question is, which is the standard process? Is it controlling all the urges? So easier and better process is devotional service. Controlling urges is starting point. So Krishna has described this in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, that start with regulating your mind and senses. But this regulation alone is not enough. Simultaneously situate yourself on the spiritual platform, then you will be perfect on the spiritual path. Does that answer the inquiry? All right, striking points. So take snapshots. There are 8 slides. This is slide number 1. Slide 2. Slide 3. Slide 4. Slide 5. Six, 7, and 8. So all of you, those who complete these spiritual endeavors, I can tell you that you all are listening to class recordings very, very nicely. You're listening with rapt attention based on the points that I see you populate on the on the Google form. So continue doing it. It's only 1 or 2 who are not doing your spiritual endeavors. I request you to please consider to do the spiritual endeavors every week. So these spiritual endeavors, as we discussed, are meant to occupy our life in Krishna conscious activities so that there is little to no time left for spirituality. So the last thing that I'm going to show to you is the YouTube channel that we have created with help from Sumnima as well as with help from Dayamai Radha and Surbi Matajis from Toronto Temple. Sumnima we all know from our classes. So I will give you access for this. The channel is straightforward. So looks on the left side here. Spiritual Books as one word dash Ramvilas Das. That's the channel. And when you get access, when you click content, and when you click playlist, all the scriptural recordings of the various batches we have saved here. It was quite an endeavor to get all of this here. You scroll down and you make it larger to show all the playlist. So all scriptures, recordings for all batches, they are all here. For example, Bhagavatam Canto 1 Inquiries, the Nectar of Devotion Revision, Canto 4 Bhagavatam, Nectar of Instruction, Inquiries, Bhagavad Gita. So right now the Nectar of Instruction Inquiries, these recordings, they get posted here. So today's recording will be next recording posted here. Similarly, the Nectar of Instruction link that I send you all to listen to, they are already here. So you click Nectar of Instruction and you click videos. They are all here in sequential order. So don't get carried away with all of this. It's a minefield. It still is a work in progress. It has taken a significant volume of endeavor from me, from Sumnima, from Surbi Mataji's, to bring all of the recordings here. It's still work in progress. There's still a lot of work going on behind the scene. So you all are also owners of this channel because the recordings, you are also in there. So I'm going to give you access to all of this. You can, of course, look up on YouTube this word, Spiritual Books Ram Vilas Das. Spiritual Books is one word. And subscribe. So all the recordings that get uploaded, you get notification. So tomorrow, if I get hit by lightning, anyway, all the recordings are here for you all to continue your spiritual journey. So I thank again Sumnima, Dayamai Radha, and Surbi Matajis to help get all of us here. It's still work in progress. Any questions, comments, realizations? So you all will receive an email from YouTube. So you have to do your part to accept the invitation. So when you get an email from YouTube, there are two links that come. One link, the YouTube tries to market itself, that the YouTube asks to create your own YouTube channel. You don't need to go there. All you need to do is the second link. I think it's the second link which says accept the invitation to this YouTube channel that we have created, Spiritual Books Ram Vilas Das. So accept that, do your part. Otherwise, after certain time, that link expires. Follow me. You had a question, something?
No, Prabhuji, thank you. I just wanted to say that this is extremely useful because many cases when we are traveling here or there, it's difficult to get the original recording. The YouTube links help a lot, and also to transition to the next class without waiting.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. So you are correct that this becomes accessible wherever you are. plus the glitch that we had in the Zoom recordings that you could not play on the phone, the past class recordings, that glitch goes away because you can just play from the YouTube. So multiple advantages. Yeah, thank you. So occupy yourself that whenever you have time, say if you want to revise Bhagavad Gita, then scroll down. We have Bhagavad Gita revision recordings here. Let's find it. Yeah, Bhagavad Gita revisions. So you have 2 chapters each. So this is from batch 3 and 4. And all of the recordings are also here. For example, Sanskrit, how to take darshan, the Bhoga offering, the Ekadashi. So take some time. The only downside of YouTube is that this playlist, it does not allow in alphabetical order. So every time I upload something, this reshuffles. But once you go inside any playlist and click on videos, then they are in sequential order. But the playlist on itself, YouTube does not have that feature, at least so far, to make the playlist in alphabetical order or some sequence. It does not. So just look for it. Or you can also filter and search using the description and the title. Say you know a title, like whatever I have put in the description, you can search and you can search the videos, because in here there are already hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos and many more are coming up. So this is a humongous endeavor that we went through to upload all of these, and each upload was individually, and individually you have to do click, 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 a lot of clicks to bring to the state where we are. So therefore, I thank again all the devotees, being Sumnima and Surbi Matajis, to help with the upload of all of these recordings. So I will give you access and we'll go from there. All right. So again, my humble request to all of you that please endeavor on the endeavors. We will stop here. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.